What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Collider Interview Studio at New York Comic Con 2025. Sitting with one of my favorite teams on the planet, Hazbin Hotel. I'm obsessed. I'm so excited. I'm so happy that I finally have season 2 in my brain, in my heart. We're not going to spoil everything, but for anybody out there, we are going to spoil episodes 1 and 2. So if you have not watched those, what are you waiting for? Go binge them and then come back to this interview.
Yes.
All right, let's dig into it. Viv, first question for you. You set the bar mighty high with the songs in season 1, so I was curious what it was like developing the first song for season 2, because the pressure for something like that is absolutely through the roof.
I mean, that's more on the songwriters. But yeah, the pressure comes from me, though, because like I don't let a song through unless I like it. So for that one, though, we talked about like what it was going to be, because I knew it had to be like a reintroduction, like an opening number. But the important element was to have the V's part in it. So we were like, I think my initial brief was like, we have to introduce Baxter to the hotel, but we also need to show how these two forces are different. And so I think it was the boys that came up with the idea of the person being introduced through the song, like starting at the hotel and then going and being introduced through the whole machine of the V's, which I loved. I was like, that's genius. And then the way it like combined, like it's one of my favorite songs they've done. I really, really love it. I think they really went off with it. But yeah, the concept was very like, it had a lot of weight, because it was like, hey, we kind of got everybody in it. So it's kind of like an opening like bell kind of thing where there's people chiming in. But then it's also Charlie going through like a mental breakdown, and we're introducing a new character. And then yeah, the villains kind of getting their moment. So yeah, they pulled it off, which was amazing.
So many follow-up questions, but I will also emphasize how much I love that song and how challenging it is to set the scene for the particular narrative for season 2, but then also meet those sky-high fan expectations. Thought you did so beautifully. Let's talk a little bit about Baxter. I believe I know a little bit about how Baxter came to be for you, but can you kind of walk our viewers through it, and at what point you determined he was an important character to incorporate in the season 2 narrative?
Oh, that's so fun. So for people who don't know, I've had these characters for a very long time, and I've done art of them, and I've like when you're young, you go like, when I have a show, here's my characters. Like, so I've done many like artwork of all the Hazbin like hotel gang, as I call them, and it included a couple characters who aren't part of the hotel gang. Especially weren't in season 1. I was able to bring one of them in as a quick cameo, and I'm excited because there will be more of her in the show. But Mimsy was one of those characters, and so Baxter was another one of those characters. And for a while, I didn't know what to do with him, because he was kind of like he is. In a way, he got replaced by Pentious, because like the kind of nerdy, like silly goofball scientist character, I was like, I like Pentious more, so I'm gonna. But that was before like finding a voice and a character for Baxter, and now he's so different, and I think he's a fun blend to the gang, because he's I don't know, he's kind of mean and blunt, but like in a way that's very like fun and very like, because he's a little scientist. So he's just like, this is how it is, So yeah, I like him.
I loved reading that Pentious was kind of a replacement.
and then we joke about that in the episode, because then we're like, he's the
brilliant.
which is the funny like behind the scenes. I think that's why I was like, yeah, we should joke about him being the replacement now, because he was technically the one replaced originally.
Isn't the title New Pentious?
Yeah, it's called New Pentious. He's the new Pentious.
Very, very well done in that respect as well. Krystina, you're next up on my list here. I wanted to ask you a broader question, because one of my favorite things about Cherry Bomb is the fact that you only really get a very minimal amount of screen time in season 1. And I'm curious, because I know you're on the con circuit a lot with this character. What has it been like seeing the fan response to so little material? And then also, what was it like finding out that she'd be a main part of the hotel in season 2?
Yeah, I think what was cool is I knew what was awesome about us all stepping into this world is that it had this entire beautiful, amazing fan base that was already living with this show. So I think Cherry Bomb had a lot of diehard fans from before I came in on the scene. And so I stepped into this character that people loved. And most of the time at my table, it's like, why did she come in episode 6? Why didn't she come in earlier? And I'm like, you guys, patience. We've talked about this before at cons. Like, yeah, we didn't have time. 8 episodes in a dream. But 8 episodes in a dream. But it's been I'm so excited for season 2 because we really get to spend time with her. And as we see in episode 1, she's hanging at the hotel. We'll see what happens next for her. But I think it's really exciting to, now it's time. We have the time to get to know her. And the fans just are so lovely about her because she's chaos, pure chaos. And they love their friendship too.
One thing that I've noticed is that at the very beginning, just after the show came out, there weren't too many cosplays of Valentino and of Cherry Bomb. But I think after a few months of people following these two on social media and falling in love with them as people, they were like, I'm going to dress as the character they play. And now you see a ton of Valentinos, a ton of Cherry Bombs, and it's really awesome.
This is starting to feel like a little bit of an intervention, okay? Listen, I don't want to be on social media.
Yeah, Christian, wow.
I don't know.
Like, I'm not on TikTok. So I'm not on TikTok. Oh, my God. I'm not on TikTok. So there's so many. Like, I think on season 1, there was the bit in the ending where where Valentino and Vox are dancing. There was a TikTok meme of that dance, and people were doing, like, dancers were doing it. And I was like, I want to see this. So, like, I still refuse to get TikTok, but, like, I feel it. Because I'm like, there's, like, a whole bunch of fun stuff happening right there, and I don't see it.
It's great recipes on TikTok too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good things on TikTok. I just hate it.
This is just a TikTok commercial now?
Yeah,
Well, in all sincerity, if the pressure isn't high enough for you to be on social media right now, given how much more Vox we get in season 2, like, it's going to be through the roof. And I feel like you have
The
to do
pressure?
it. Yeah, to be on social media.
What's so great about not being on social media is you don't feel the pressure.
I know. I was like,
Honestly, you're doing it right. You're doing it right.
The cool, fun stuff that we said.
It's a fair point. I enjoy everybody's presence on social media. It's a nice compliment to the show. Let's dig into the V's here. Here's where I get kind of obnoxiously specific because I have a habit of doing that. There's a particular line in the first episode that made me want to pose a specific question to the three of you, just to hear how your answers differ. So Vox is explaining how they'll rule heaven, and Valentino asks, why do we even need to rule heaven? So I want to know for each of you, if your character's kind of like dream came true, they got to live in their dream reality where they had the exact amount of power they wanted and could do whatever they want with it, what would that look like?
Such a great question. I think for Velvette, she always wants to be like everything. She wants everything to look fabulous and fierce. And so I feel like it would be a world where, like, she could just dress everybody the way she wants to dress them.
I'd believe that.
I feel like Valentino would rather than, he'd try to elevate the art form of adult film, and I think he'd want to be like the Francis Ford Coppola, but we're getting to Megalopolis land, and that's unfortunately where his hubris would reveal itself. But I think if he had if his dream came true, it'd just be him, like, sort of coming up with the most insane film ideas and calling it art, and the audiences might question that.
This also makes all the sense in the world to me. I feel like we kind of get your answer. I think he flat out says it at the beginning.
Yeah.
Dude wants to be a god.
That's right. And I think he would use that power to punish anyone who ever hurt him.
Again, would also believe that. Alex, your next step here, because we get to talk about Sir Pentious' backstory right now. I'm not sure if Viv gave you all the details the moment you signed on, but if she didn't, how does the backstory that is now canon compare to what you thought his backstory might have been?
She didn't, and shame on you.
I didn't know we would get more.
I'm glad we did, but it is the backstory snuck up on me as I was reading it, and it being, because they're there for sinning. So what are these sins that we're all thinking about? And when you find out that Pentious' sin was one of non-action, is something so heartbreaking. He didn't really do anything, but he didn't do nothing either. And there's something incredibly redeemable about that, because I think it really then speaks back recursively to the first season of, like, what was inside him to act, the thing that he didn't do before multiple times, and just going from coward to hero. it truly made me wildly emotional to find out like that you could end up in a place for something like that. I thought about my own life kind of in like the way of action and inaction.
Which brings us to current events.
Yes.
Show does inspire you in that respect. Amir, I'm sorry in advance. You're so nervous with me. I remember.
That's just what Amir looks like.
San
No, I'm
Diego
excited.
Comic-Con interview. I finally could feel like I've come up with something that you can somewhat safely answer here. I'm going to keep it broad for you. Can you tell me something that you get to do with Alastor in season 2 that wound up being more creatively fulfilling than you ever imagined the role could be at the start? It is so broad, you could say whatever you want.
I'm dying for him to pass. That'd be so funny.
I'm ready for it.
Perri, I love you. I pass. Because it was the season was incredibly fulfilling.
When do we all just jump on him?
But
You know what I mean?
No, but I can't tell you what it is because I know our fans and I know what they're gonna read into, and I don't want to spin them out any more than they're already spinning.
What a respectful way to look at it.
No, it's true. That's true.
Give me one word, just one word, so that eventually I can connect the dots and so can they.
Depth.
I'll take that. I'll take that. Kimiko, next up. Nifty.
Hi.
Okay. I think I actually know what this answer could be, and it's something I've asked a couple of you along the way, because as we were paving the way from season 1 to season 2, some of us have talked a little bit about, upping your game in the new season. So now I want to pose that idea to you. What is something you get to do that has you upping your game as a voice actor or a singer?
Well, I think she's just a character that I haven't gotten to play. I often in the voice acting world, I do a lot of cartoons. I often am always pigeonholed into my own voice. And, Nifty is a version of my own voice, but she's very gremlin-y, and in a way that's like evil and devilish. And like I do a lot of children's programming. So to be able to do something on the other end of the spectrum, completely opposite, is so exciting and refreshing. And also, I'm just excited that we get, a song from her.
Yes.
And it's such a good one. I love
Yeah,
that
it's
one.
so sick. And it's going to go by so quickly that you're going to have to be like, what just happened? But it's I'm very excited for people to see that. And she's so quiet, and she has you're just always wondering what the hell she's singing about. And so it's exciting to actually have her have that moment where you see what she's singing about, and it's, I think, probably exactly what you think.
The moment has been hyped up for me for a couple of months now, and it's good. It's good.
I was like, did it pay off well? Because you've been so many
so well,
interviews.
especially because I saw that behind the scenes clip of Erica's little bit last year.
Yes,
and so being able to connect the dots to the finished product, so good.
Love it.
All right, Blake, last on my list here. So this is another broader question because there's stuff in the tail end of the season that I wish we could dig into now.
Sure.
We cannot. So season 1 sees Angel Dust build an especially strong connection with Husk and also find his place in his Hazbin Hotel family. But it was making me wonder, how much further does that push him towards, I guess, embracing his own self-worth and realizing he deserves better than Valentino at the start of season 2?
Start of season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that season 1 was such an arc for him, starting to understand that he can trust himself, but in the moments where he can't trust himself, he can trust his friends. And all of season 1 was an arc for him to be able to get to a point where he could trust other people and he could see them as a safe space for himself. And I think the version of Angel Dust that we see at the beginning of season 2 is the version of him that is actually kind of at peace for the first time in a really long time. Obviously, he's still got his contract with Val and dealing with that, but he can see the light at the end of the tunnel in a way, or at least see the silver lining to the circumstances that he's in, which is his lovely new friends and the fact that they believe in him.
I just want him to live happily ever after.
I
but
know,
I
I-
wouldn't get a show if it were that easy.
The amount of people that come up to like my table at conventions and are like, I just want him to be happy. I'm like, bestie, me too. Like,
Stressful.
Yeah.
Now I'll up the stress. Our last order of business. You are the next group to move a piece on our bracket here. We are naming the best horror villain of all time. The last one left in round 1 that you'll have to choose between is Freddy Krueger and the Strangers.
It's Freddy Krueger.
Krueger.
Not even
No
a
question,
contest.
Freddy
I
Krueger.
love
Not
the
even a
authority.
contest.
Christian, do you want to do the honor? Do you want
May
to move Freddy with the sticky tack? Yeah.
Tacky.
Yeah. Job well done.
Go, Freddy.
We're officially on to round 2.
Terrifying.
Yeah. Terrifier is terrifying. I love art so much. I love them all. I want them all to win. They can't. And I want all of you to win, always.
Right back at you.
You big time in that panel room. I cannot wait to be on that stage with you. Huge congratulations on Hazbin Hotel Season 2. Have the very best time celebrating.
Thank you,
Thank
Perry.
you.
Yeah, Perry.
You're amazing.